after about 2 to 3 years of, I would say, about honeymoon, 2020, and definitely following the breakdown of the talks between the Saudi as well as the Russia. So that actually saw the global oil prices actually plunging to a historical low. First quarter was average prices was still quite encouraging at about $51 per barrel. But of course, that actually took a toll with global oil prices actually fell close to about 40% in the second quarter. I think most of the market intelligence as well as EIA is actually forecasting third quarter to actually rebalance. In our view, that might be a bit on the bullish end. Because ultimately, if you were to look at global oil prices, global oil demand is still relatively weak despite rebounding from the April trough. For instance, if you look at for the month of May versus the month of April, you can see that the oversupply situation has actually halved. But that being said, there's a few things that need to be considered. For instance, your airline routes are not 100% resumed, and of course there are all these like signs of a second wave, particularly in US, your South Korea, your India, your Beijing. So that will overall, that will actually play a part in terms of your weaker oil demand as your ground transportation are kind of restricted to a certain extent as well. So we are definitely not bullish in terms of our Brent oil prices. We are expecting second half to trend a bit lower in the range of about 30 to 35. Currently, Petronas has only slashed the 2020 capex as well as the opex by about 21 to about 12%. But that being said, they are still keeping the local spending relatively unchanged at about 26 to 28 billion ringgit. So overall, we are expecting to see an 11 billion decline in capex. So in our view, the domestic capex might the actual domestic capex might potentially miss. If you look at first quarter, they have only spent about 4.5 billion ringgit. So that's only about 17% of the full year guidance. So on that note, that's why we do see a risk in terms of all this miss. Hence, that is why we are relatively neutral on the Malaysia oil and gas sector.